The Great Britain side shocked this morning when Maurice Bamford got here. He'd kept a very well hidden secret that Tony Myler pulled out in the final fitness test last night, and number 6 there on our screens, Ellery Hanley, been moved up to the stand-off position. This man, Ellery Hanley, causing havoc in the centre. Well, although Tony Myler will be missed, he may be even more dangerous in the stand-off position. And Shaun Edwards, number 4, and number 9, David Watkinson. What a fine game he had in the second test. He was hard, he was aggressive, and by the looks of his right eye, it looks as though he's still carrying 1 or 2 war wounds from that second test. But every one of them determined, and none more so determined than this youngster, Shaun Edwards, the Wigan centre. It only seems 12 months ago that he signed for a record fee for £35,000, and here he is. But the Kiwi side, many changes. Darryl Williams comes in at number 2 for his first cap, and Dean Bell moves into the number 3 position. And no place for Olsen Filipina, the standoff. He's on substitute, and Fred Arcoy from Hull comes in at number 6. And only the Sorensen brothers keeping the place in this pack of forwards. But I know Coach Graham Lowe, I think to a certain extent, has underestimated this Great Britain side. But do you think these changes will make any difference now, Ali?
Well, I think so, Ray. I've just looked at the New Zealand lads getting off the coach, and they look in a very mean mood indeed. But I know the Great Britain lads want to win this. I just hope that this occasion is not too big for young Shaun Edwards. It's his first international, and what a very important one it's going to be.
A long kick from well, offside, yes. Well, referee Barry Gummersall, very interesting there. He marks out the yards on the pitch. When the ball is kicked, the players cannot encroach within 5 yards of the man catching the ball, and he very cleverly marked out the yards there for New Zealand. So the first kick to touch there by Joe Lydon, and a good kick too. Right under the grandstand there, the sun streaming down now on play. And Great Britain, Harry Pin, Potter crowded in. I'm sure we'll see some very good defence in this test. The Great Britain side, I think, won that second test because of their defence, and moving it out wide now. Hanley, it's a good wave. I know that Great Britain have worked on quite a lot of moves to move the ball out wide. This Ellen Road pitch, of course, is 78 yards wide, not the statutory 75 yards wide. It is a soccer pitch, and there's that extra space for the wings. To Hanley. No, not quite. Good tackle by Dane Sorensen. Great Britain on the attack. Jeff Gratian to Fox. This little lad from Featherstone weaving and dodging, but not really getting anywhere, just having his head pushed in the ground. Back to Burke. But a bad one. Rolling dead, no. Well, O'Hara there, elected to run with it. Bit of a silly move there from O'Hara.
Yes, it was a very bad move, Ray, but we're just noticing now with a couple of these New Zealand lads, there's going to be a little bit of middle in this game. There's been 1 or 2 tackles off the ball, and it just shows you how motivated they are to win this game. And this fella who's got the ball, he could be one of the main culprits.
Yes, Kevin Tamate from Warrington brought in, I think, to put a little bit of stiffness in this Kiwi pack. And it looked a knock-on, and it is a knock-on. Had a fine series, Barry Gummersall, the referee from Queensland in Australia. He's refereed 1 or 2 other games whilst he's been here. He refereed a Colts county match in midweek, and all of them very successfully. So the first scrum of the match, and this is where Great Britain have had a very big advantage in the 2 tests. They've fairly mopped up the ball from these scrums. Well, they won't mop it up like that. Referee Gratian says get back, not allowing New Zealand to get into the scrum. This third and final decider, of course. New Zealand won the first test 24-22. Great Britain bounced back last Saturday, as we saw, 25-8 in that second test. So all to play for. And also a lot more to play for, because of course this is a World Cup match under the new regulations in World Rugby League. A series of matches being played over the next 2 seasons, but a final decider in Sydney in '88, and this is one of those World Cup playoff matches. So a double count in this game. Dane Sorensen to Clayton Friend, to Gary Pro. Oh, bursting through. Oh, just got his ankle tapped by Harry Pinner. But an interesting selection, this number 13. Played centre in the previous 2 tests. Out to Mark Graham. Nice to see this skipper for New Zealand back in harness. Wayne Wallace keeping it going. Clayton Friend. Mark Graham again. Oh, that's a good ball to Kurt Sorensen. And this is the defence that we said Great Britain would need. 5 yards now from the Great Britain line. Kiwis on attack. Fred Arcoy. Oh, it's a chip through, dangerous. But well covered by Goodway. One of those lucky situations, Alec, you need in a test match.
Yes, and just looking at the New Zealand side, Ray, they look very, very determined indeed. And they're putting Great Britain under quite a lot of pressure in the early stage of this game. But it just looks as though the Great Britain defence looks solid, and they look as though they can handle anything the New Zealand are going to throw at them.
To Potter. Just inside the 25-yard, and I don't think either of these two sides will be keen to play the game down here, and they're not. Mick Burke settling to bang the ball deep. Gary Campbell. Just 5 minutes gone, score still 0-0. Gary Pro. To Williams, Dane Sorensen. One of the few survivors in this pack with Graham Lowe. He certainly applied the surgeon's knife, dropping 4 of the second test pack. Out to Luluai. Both of these sides, I think, will welcome this very wide pitch here at Elland Road, the home of Leeds United and Hunslet Rugby League Club. To Graham. Oh, strong boy, a very strong man this. Still going, Burke. Superb example there of this forward, Mark Graham. Coming back into play, but what a character he is. To Archon. It's a high one, Burke's underneath it. Oh, well taken. He's got a knock to his jaw, I think, but he's a very big lad, yes. A bit dazed. And the touch judge has come on. He's having a word with Mr. Gomersall. And I think it's Fred Arcoy he's going to be bringing out. He suffered a back injury in the second test last week when he collected one of those high balls and he came down. But he's a very brave lad.
Well, this is it. It's a beautiful kick back to New Zealand, but just watch number 6, Arcoy, as he comes in. Does he go in and punch Burke in the nose? I think, well...
Watkinson there to play the ball to John Fieldhouse. One of the great successes of this series, Fieldhouse moved up to the prop forward position and had 2 very good games to date. To Goodway. And here's a lad, I think, number 11, looking for a good game. To Potter. Harry Pinner. Fieldhouse again. Oh, dangerous ball, but Schofield's away. Has he got the legs on Crome? Oh, no. Magnificent cover tackle there by Gary Crome, coming along behind. But Great Britain now in possession. To Pinner, beautiful ball to Hanley. Jeff Gratian just couldn't get it away. But this is good rugby, flowing rugby from Great Britain. Pinner to Fox. Gratian again. And he's lost it. And a knock on, yes. Scrumdown. Well, 3 or 4 passes put in there amongst the pack by Gratian, Pinner, Fox, but really to no effect. None of the players actually going forward. So second scrum of the game there. And I think there'll be a very interesting battle between these 2 props, Tamati and Gratian, Alec.
Well, I think there's going to be a lot more battle here today than what there was in the second test, Ray. I've never seen this New Zealand side looking very, very mean. Graham Lowe did think there was a little bit lethargic in the second test, but I don't think they can say they're going to be lethargic today.
To Fox. Fieldhouse. Yes, I think this match looks a lot harder already than the previous 2. Out to Pinner. He was looking to get the ball to Burke, couldn't quite get it there. One of the problems of moving this ball on this wide pitch, there's always the chance of an interception. To Fox. And there is one. Mark Graham. Fred Arcoy. Arcoy to Campbell, coming well in the line now. Good. Oh, crunching tackle there from Joe Lydon. Coming in off the wings, sensing the danger. Darrell Williams. First touch of ball, this full-back winger from Auckland, making his debut here at number 2. And I already get the feeling that there's a greater determination in this Kiwi side. I think they felt they let themselves down at Wigan. And the 6th tackle coming up. Clayton Friend. Little chip, but well a trip. And I think that was more than an accident. We saw Clayton Friend in one of the previous tests stick his leg out in a despairing movement.
Well, this is a very, very bad tackle for me with this Clayton Friend. That is a deliberate trip, and now this man is allowed to stay on the field. He's not even getting a caution. And it was very late, and Mr. Gummershaw could have given him something else apart from just a ticking off.
Well, he's a very fiery customer, is that little lad. For a relieving kick there for Great Britain. Great Britain, I think, wearing this new strip with pride, this white shirt and the red and blue V. But interesting to see them going back to the dark shorts and the dark stockings, originally worn in the 1920s and 30s when men like Gus Risman and Jim Sullivan, Alf Ellaby also wore the shirt with pride. And a penalty for lying on at the tackle. I think referee Gummersall has had a very fine series, Alec.
He's a very good referee, but the interesting thing, Ray, early on in this game is that I think the side who puts the points on the board, you know, in the early stages will settle down the more. I think both sides look a little bit edgy.
Young Fox then. To Gratian. Working a move to go. Ooh, that was a strong tackle. And I think Andy Goodway there was looking at the man coming into the tackle and lost the ball. This lad Goodway, I saw him have a tremendous tour out in 1984, this number 11, but been lacking in confidence in this series. I think he really could do with one good run and that would set him going. And Sean Edwards, number 4, first touch of the ball. To Lydon, Pinner. Just couldn't get the half break there. A good tackle by Dane Sorensen. Get off me, says Ellery Hanley. Well, I've often said that this man is often at his best and he stood still and he suddenly leaps and darts somewhere. Gratian. I think referee there missed a punch. He did, yes. Touch judge is on straight away. Number 9, Wayne Wallace, a punch. This number 9, Wayne Wallace, also another test debut from the Hornby side in Canterbury.
Well, I think this is it. I think there's been one or two of these tackles a little bit late. Just watch this. He looks like Barry McGuigan coming in.
Yes, I don't think the skipper, Mark Graham, will be very pleased at that, because it does give Mick Burke the first chance to get some points. And goal kicking has been the crucial factor in these tests so far. The tries are 7-6 to Great Britain, and the difference is the goal kick. But a very, very long kick. It's a difficult one, almost to the halfway line, but immediately in front of the post. But this lad Burke, he's big enough to hit this. He need a good thwack behind it. No, missed kick completely. So score still remains at no points each. And ball, of course, went dead, so a drop out on the 25-yard. And a very poor kick from Darrell Williams. Gratefully received by Jack Gratian. To Pinner. Potter. to Goodwin. Significant to see Harry Pinner at number 2. Oh, good ball from John Fieldhouse. Just couldn't get the ball away, Shaun Edwards, but excellent combination play there from Fieldhouse and Pinner. And Pinner once again beginning to dictate tactics. Hanley, but standing still, Alec.
Yes, and I don't like the way we are standing still, Ray, and especially with Andy Goodway stood out wide. We've got to have people running on the ball and supporting man with the ball. And really, Great Britain have got to move this ball out wider.
6th tackle coming up to Fox. Should be covered easily, and it is. Dane O'Hara bringing it away. Beats one man. But well taken by Shaun Edwards. Darrell Williams. Very strong lad, this. Having his first game here. Usually a full-back playing for Auckland, but obviously coming in from the wing, looking for play. "15 minutes gone, this deciding Whitbread Trophy series still locked in a battle. Neither side really getting the upper hand here. One test each. To Arcoy. Significant to see the Kiwis employing this little chip kick through time and time again. I think that this really is indicative of how strong the Great Britain defence is now. They've certainly tightened up in the last 12 months. To Fox. Pinner. I think Ellery Hanley, Alec, is sort of coming a bit too close into play, isn't he?
Well, if you notice, Ray, they've put this number 11, Mark Graham, also out wide just to counteract this. But I think now there's... and I think we'll find out here again that this little Darren Williams, it might be his first test, but it could be his last. Because he's been in twice.
Yes, I know when the New Zealanders arrive, they look keyed up, but you can be a little bit too keyed up.
Like I say, this is his first test match. Just watch this as it comes in low. Hard and low and hard. Ooh.
And touch. So Great Britain then still on the attack, but still looking for a way through these black and white shirts. To Hanley, bringing it blind. Good tackle by Mark Graham, number 11. I think Mark Graham will have a very big influence on this match. He's only played in 3 out of the 10 matches on tour so far, and they've missed him in the vital ones. To Pinner. To Goodway. Pinner. Oh, nice little chip through. Oh, that's a slip. Kevin Tamati. Well, didn't Kevin Tamati run with some aggression there, but he's John Fieldhouse, the opposite prop. No shirking, no prisoners taken, as the old saying goes in rugby league. And I think we've really got an old-fashioned test match on our hands here. No quarter given. Kurt Sorensen driving in now. And brother Dane Sorensen. Got through a tremendous amount of work, these two Sorensen brothers, and significantly the only two retained in this Kiwi test back. To Prone. Good centre play there from Prone. Wayne Wallace. Already, I think Gary Prone's causing problems at loose forward.
Yes, and he's number 13 with a little bit of pace there, and that's very, very important in test matches. He just has that extra yard, and he's a very strong lad. But the most interesting thing about this game is, Ray, is that how fit both sides are. They're doing a tremendous amount of tackling. They're both throwing the ball about looking for openings, and it'll be interesting when the first try does come, who gets it.
Yes, and a 6-tackle turnover there. The rule now that after the 6th tackle, the ball handed over to the opposition. And Jeff Gratian, 36 years of age, oldest player ever to wear that Great Britain shirt in a test match. The referee gun whistle indicates a knock on, no play on. I think referee gun whistle there waiting to see if a New Zealand player could latch onto the ball. They couldn't, so a scrum down. And already the Great Britain physiotherapist Mike Stabler just with that cold magic sponge to Potter. Offside. It's amazing how scrum halves in rugby league always look innocently and protestingly at the referee, yet he was offside on Clayton Friend there. But a differential penalty at the scrums. So Williams again putting the ball to touch. To Tamati. I think this prop Kevin Tamati's got something to prove. He was left out of the second test. I don't think he liked it. Dane Sorensen. Oh, good crunching tackle there from Potter. Friend, Prome. Oh, driving them off, one man, two man. He's got that extra yard of pace, Gary Prome. He's so used to playing in the centre for New Zealand and for Hull Kingston Rovers. But when he gets the half break, he can go. Kurt Sorensen. Oh, good pass from Kurt Sorensen. Out to Dean Bell. To Luluai. Clayton Friend. Little desperation there from Great Britain, but the defence held. Fred Arcoy, he's got Graham with him. Is he over? No, it looks to be on his back. And he is. John Fieldhouse there, clutching the ball for his life. But that's the danger of this man, Graham. We saw him go over there in a position similar in the first test.
And these were New Zealand a dangerous. Fred Arcoy in a beautiful ball here, just slips the ball up to Mark Graham. A very, very big man. Looks as though his weight's going to take him over, but John Fieldhouse just takes the ball away in time.
And a very timely scrum collapse. Referee gun whistle indicating that the Kiwis, yes, brought the scrum down. So a very welcome penalty for Great Britain. And I'm sure Joe Lydon won't be too bothered about the distance he gets. More the fact that Great Britain have got 6 tackles to realign themselves. And I think if I were Harry Pinner here, I'd play this 2 or 3 times to the forwards, get the side settled down a bit. And he is sending it to the big men. Jeff Gratian to Goodway.
Well, it's what they say, Ray. You don't take 2 passes like that in a game unless you finish up in hospital, and I don't think Goodway will lick 2 more of them.
Great Britain trying to force the way out of this 25-yard area. Good, strong, surging run from Jeff Gratian. Well, Andy Goodway looks to be hurt in that tackle. He's hobbling on his left leg. And Burke, I think, doing the sensible thing, relieving the line with that long kick. If you've got a good defence, why bother tackling on your own line? Tackle in their half. To Williams. Dane Sorensen. It's certainly a very bruising test match, although I think these forwards, they're enjoying this. They're getting to grips with each other. Wayne Wallace at the acting half-back position. Kevin Tamati, goal, good ball to Luluai. He's got some space here. Well covered by Burke. And well picked up by Des Drummond. Now here's the counter-attack. Drummond to Hanley. To Goodway. He's got Edwards. Oh, he's held onto the ball. Nice dummy to Joe Lydon. But just look at that cover tackle there from Gary Prome. We saw a tackle like that from Gary Prome in the first 10 minutes. And now one on the other side of the field. And Joe Lydon, he had room, he had space. But a magnificent tackle. And it Looks to be a penalty, yes. Somebody's lying on the floor. I think it's Andy Goodway. Mike Stable looks very concerned with him. Obviously, I think, yes, it is Andy Goodway. A tackle off the ball when Andy Goodway passed that ball. And I think Mike Stable's indicating that he's certainly got problems. And it's Great Britain on the attack, and New Zealand have had Kurt Sorensen removed from the field. 5 minutes for the sin bin. Maurice Bamford, well, he looks upset. He think he wanted play stopping, but a good dummy there from Watkinson. But of course, play in rugby league doesn't stop for an injury unless the referee thinks it's serious. To Potter. But I think coach Maurice Bamford wanted the play stopping for Andy Goodway's injury. But Great Britain on the attack now. To Pinnock. Oh, misses the ball. He's still going, but a knock-on. An opportunity missed there, and sadly, Andy Goodway being helped off the field there by Maurice Bamford. Obviously a very, very harsh after-the-ball incident by Kurt Sorensen. But Great Britain still on the attack, and Lee Crooks coming on for Andy Goodway. Dean Beck. Number 15, Lee Crooks there, coming on for Andy Goodway. Good tackle. Played in the first test, but missed the second test with a groin strain. And Klukes certainly looks as if he wants to get into this game. Perhaps he too has something to prove. Still 14 minutes to half-time. Still both sides looking for points. And a slip there from Drummond, Alec.
Yes, and it could be a very costly slip, Ray, as well, because New Zealand look as though they've got a full back line out here, and if they move the ball out wide, I think they've got men to spare.
Fred Arcoy. A lot of controversy when this man Arcoy was brought in at standoff for Olsen Filipina, but he's certainly making this ball move about the field. Sorensen. Clayton Friend out to Wayne Wallace. And the sixth tackle coming up. Could be an up and under here, I think, from Clayton Friend. It is to the left corner. It's a tricky one. It's missed. For the turnover. Yes, Barry Gumusel there, the ball being adjudged not to have hit a Great Britain player, so no way can New Zealand regather. Well, he's not giving a turnover now. He might have thought there was a knock-on. So a scrum down there now, and a vital scrum for Great Britain to win, and they do. No, they don't. Gary Proman driving in. I think young half-back there from Featherstone, Derek Fox, lost the ball on the blind side. Now, what are the Kiwis going to do? Well, Alec, would you have gone for 2 points?
Yes, I think I would, but it's very interesting. He must be very confident. They've kicked the ball back to give them more room, and this is where they're very dangerous. They support the men and they release it in the tackle. They'll 2 drives and the ball will be thrown out.
Well, Great Britain then 5 tackles to stand the pressure here. To Sorensen. Kiwis very confident in these big, strong forwards. Gary Proman. Mark Graham, now then, this looks dangerous. Driving himself, but a crunching tackle. Crunching tackler, and Kurt Sorensen back from his 5-minute spell in the sin bin. So Kiwis now back to 13 men. Clayton Friend. And a good stint of tackling. The 6th tackle coming up. I think there was a time 12 months ago when the Great Britain line would have gone under. And dead. David Watkinson to take the tap. Referee Gomersall judging that the ball had gone dead as Burke caught it.
I think interesting also, Ray, is now is the pace of this game. It's beginning to tell on one or two people, and we look to this fella, number 15, Lee Crooks, to do a little bit of work in the early stages because he is very fresh, and some of the forwards like Jeff Gratian have done a lot of work.
To Hanley. Well, we had a lot of points in the previous two tests, 24-22 in the first and 25-8 in the second, and one or two people said one or two defences were not right, but nobody can grumble about this. Into Lydon. Oh, that looks a nice kick. Pushes the Kiwis back into 25-yard. Referee Gomersall judged that the ball went back, and a good tackle from Joe Lydon. Good covering up, good following up there to Arcoy. And significant there that Fred Arcoy had to take the ball himself. That kick from Lydon had took this Kiwi pack by surprise, not a forward back. And there's the first forward. And I must say, with 10 minutes to half-time, I think this Kiwi pack look a little tired.
Yes, if there's an edge in fitness, the Great Britain lads look as though they've got it. But what a very, very hard game, because there's no give and take in this game. There's a lot of knuckle, and it's very, very enjoyable for the spectators.
So Britain then in possession. Looking to Potter on the blind side. And this to me looks like a heavyweight fight. Two boxers going through the first 7-8 rounds, hitting each other, weakening each other. And I'm sure come the second half, something will give. Put a scrum down. Been a marvellous series of test matches this. I was speaking to people in the crowd this morning. People come up from Milton Keynes and Bath and Gloucester, the new Cheltenham Amateur Rugby League areas, and they've come up to see this game. But a good break there, Clayton Friend. O'Hara. Well covered. Fred Arcoy. Dummy to Campbell. Oh, Campbell, he's got space with him, but a good tackle. Excellent tackle there from Jeff Gratian. But it's Fred Arcoy. This is the man for me. Caught in the problems to Mark Graham. Can he get the pass out? No. Plays it himself. No. He's given it. Yes. Well, a very, very controversial try. But it's a try. Mark Graham played the ball himself. He showed the value of quick thinking. He showed the value of size and strength. But I think in years to come, there'll be a lot of debate over that as to whether Mark Graham pushed the ball over or not. But nevertheless, it's 4 points to 0 to New Zealand.
Well, Mr. Gomersall gave a very controversial try in the first test, and this is even worse. If this is a try, I'll eat my cap. If he didn't push this ball over the line, nobody ever will. Just watch this, it's a yard short.
It's a kick, and he's got it. Yes, Dane Sorensen. Unusual to see Dane Sorensen there, kicking at goal. It's his first one on the tour, his first points on the tour, in fact, but nevertheless, it's 6 points to 0. And what a controversial way to go into the lead, but nevertheless, all tries count. And let's give credit to Mark Graham there. It was quick thinking, he played the ball to himself, he spotted the gap, and he got it over. To Dean Bell. 7 minutes then to this half, and Great Britain now desperate to get back in the game. To Kurt Sorensen. To Wayne Wallace. Having a good game, this hooker, brought in for his first test match from the Hornby club in Canterbury, but not liking that knock on. But nevertheless, running well in the loose. And doing very well in the scrums, 3-2 so far. He sort of counteracted the Great Britain dominance in the first 2 tests. Little bit of argy-bargy between Kevin Tamati and Jeff Gratian there. And a penalty. Penalty to New Zealand. Great Britain being a judge, not to be getting down in the scrum. And Darryl Williams to put to touch. Very safe one, very sound one, no great distance. But of course, New Zealand still kept in possession by that kick from Williams. To Tamati. And I think this prop, Kevin Tamati, has certainly put a bit of fire into the Kiwi pack that was lacking in the second test. Sorensen. Clayton Friend, Gary Prome. Wayne Wallace, back to Graham. There's a danger here now that the Great Britain side just lost its momentum, and this is where the Kiwis are at the most dangerous, when they're going in for the kill. To Sorensen, all good ball to Bell for a forward pass. Well intended. And a penalty. Yes. Kurt Sorensen was saying something to the referee, he was giving some back chat, and so New Zealand taking 10 yards further back. He stands no messing, this referee. Gives his decisions, sticks by them. Great Britain, I think, could do with the pace of this man, Joe Lydon, on the wing. They're desperate for a try now, with half-time coming up. Long ball to Hanley. Fox. 4 minutes to half-time. Kiwi still in the lead, 6 points to 0, thanks to that Mark Graham try. Penner. No. Certainly keeping a very strong grip on Ellery Hanley.
Yes, they are, and the Great Britain lads don't seem to be as fluent when they've got the ball. They don't seem to be as confident, because some of the New Zealand tackling is very quick and it's very strong.
And touch. Well, a piece of very casual play from Joe Lydon there. And I think that's the difference at the moment. The Great Britain side are thinking they've got far more time than they have, and Kiwis are certainly coming in very, very quickly. Clayton Friend to feed. And he does. An offside position. Harry Pinner. Loose forward, can't leave the scrum, he must stay in the scrum till the ball's completely out. Wallace. To Williams. And he's lost it. Now then, what can Great Britain do? Minutes ticking away now in this half. 2 minutes to go. And Great Britain desperate for some points on the board.
Well, I think the most important thing now is, Ray, that we've got to kind of think what kind of new tactics we can do. What Maurice Bamford has got to sit down at half-time and say, well, how do we break this strong tackling? Do we do the little chip over the top, which is, you know, very vulnerable? I think new tactics have got to be found. I think you'll find out after half-time that the Great Britain lads will come out, throw the ball out wide, because that's where we have New Zealand cold.
I do know, Alec, that they have worked on ploys in midweek to move the ball wider, but of course they were working on the ploys with Hanley in the centre, and now of course Hanley at standoff, I think he's actually restricting the play. To Lee Crooks. Well, here's a break. He's got Gary Schofield backing up with him. He hands off one man, but he's lost it. We saw that lad go through. He picked up 4 tries in the second test, and that's the sort of backing up play that he does. And I'm sure after a let off like that, the Kiwis, they'll hold on to this ball now. They'll see this 1 minute left in this first half out. Good tackle on young Fox. Clayton Fred. To Tamata. Friend again. To Wallace. Williams. Well, he lost it. And it's Great Britain ball. Crowd now getting behind Great Britain, looking for something desperate. But all credit to this Kiwi defence. They're tackling to Schofield. The 40 minutes are up now in this first half. We're playing anything that's left of injury time. Great Britain desperate to get some points on the board. Edwards, oh, good ball to Crooks. Takes the dummy, he's got Hanley inside. Hanley going down the middle now. Has he got the strength? No, excellent tackle. And let's look again at number 13, Gary Cromie put Ellery Hanley down. For me, 3 crucial tackles in this first half have all come from this Kiwi loose forward, and that one in particular on Harry Hanley, that was a vital one again. If he could have got away, then that could have spelled danger. He looks to be weary, he looks to be war-worn, but I think those 3 crucial tackles, Alec, they could tell in the end.
Yes, and all in all, Ray, I think on point it should be a draw, because there's no way in the world that New Zealand deserve to be in front. Because if we just watch as this try comes up now, it's a very, very controversial try. It's a good thinking by Matt Graham here, but just watch what he does. He taps the ball to himself, which is quite legal. Nothing wrong with this, but just watch the second part of it. Is this ball short? He definitely doesn't ground it, and he takes it over, a little nudge.
I think in all fairness there though, Alec, we must have a look whether Fieldhouse actually was obstructing or not, but nevertheless it's controversy like that that's certainly putting the ingredients into this Whitbread series. 6-0 to New Zealand then.
It's going to take some winning by Great Britain, that one. Back live.
Well, I'm sure, yes, they'll be hoping to come back, but both coaches have kept the same 13 players on the field. Both sides are unchanged. But I'm sure if I were Maurice Bamford, I'd be looking for more penetration on the flanks. The gaps are not appearing. And I think, Alec, it might be worth moving Shaun Edwards to stand off and Ellery Hanley to centre to get the gaps out there.
Yes, I think so, Ray, because young Shaun Edwards is very elusive, and he's better at number 6. I think Ellery Hanley is far better wide out, and I thought Maurice might have thought of something like this. We've got to do something desperate, and we've got to get into the game very quickly.
Lee Crooks then, this number 15 substitute, coming on for that sad injury to Andy Goodway in the first half. Fox to Potter. And we've not seen the breaks coming from the Great Britain side, as we saw in that second test at Wigan last week. And these Kiwi forwards, interesting to notice that it's 2 and 3 forwards every time looking at this number 13, Harry Pinner. He's the man who can make the breaks. Back to Burke. Oh, nice. But he's caught. And luckily for Burke, the 6th tackle now just coming up. Back to Lydon. That's a long one, but well taken. Well taken by Williams. Gary Kemble. Six points to 0 to New Zealand, and all the ingredients, I think, for a very close game. If it's a draw, of course, the trophy, this new Whitbread trophy, specially designed, will be shared by the 2 sides. Bell, good ball, not quite taken. Excellent ball there from Dean Bell. Played on the wing in the previous 2 tests, but here showing very, very good centre play. He went on the outside, but not the best of passes. First scrum of this half then. On a good heel to Hanley. But he's been very well policed by Fred Arcoy. Pinner to Crooks. Good ball to Edwards. Oh! Schofield taking his eye off the ball. Ball hit him on the chest. And picked up by the Kiwis. To Wayne Wallace. Kevin Tamati driving in. I think I know this lad Kevin Tamati's tactics. He'll be hoping to take a bit of steam out of this Great Britain pack. He wants some tackling. And here's another one, Dane Sorensen. And he's not down. Well, taking 3 or 4 men at a time, Alec.
Yes, and it would be interesting to see what New Zealand will do here, whether they drive the ball towards the sticks and just pop a drop girl over, but they're doing the basics better. They're supporting the man with the ball and they're releasing the ball in the tackle.
To our call. Here's anybody's ball. Play on, yes. John Fieldhouse touched the ball. He's got Williams outside him. No, but it was play on. Referee Gummerson quite right there. Another 5 tackles now to the Kiwis. Kurt Sorensen. Williams, Friend, out to Graham. Oh, good ball to Prone. He's got the ball. Oh, well intercepted by Drummond. A certain try saved by Des Drummond. And he's left his wing by 40 yards to come in there. But if Great Britain win this Test series, I think it could hinge upon that. Magnificent interception. Perfect timing. And Jack Gratian hoping to settle it down, I think. But the difference, I feel, is that the Kiwis are running from depth. The man at first receiver is standing fully 10 yards back when he takes that ball. Schofield now to Pinner. Pinner looking for support. To Potter. To Fox, all well taken. I think one of the advantages of young Derek Fox there being just 5'5", got low to the ground for that. Oh, very, very bad kick. Straight to Kemble. Luluai. Arcoy and Friend doing all the work around each player of the balls. If it's not Arcoy at first receiver, it's Friend, and they're working well in harness here. Dane Sorensen. These two Sorensen brothers, the workhorses of this Kiwi pack. Oh, good ball to Graham. Every time this man Graham gets the ball, there's a sort of hush comes over the British section of the crowd. They're looking for something from him. Very bad play to Dean Bell. To Clayton Friend. Some sloppy play at the moment, Alec.
Yes, there's some very, very bad play, and I'm just looking at Great Britain, they look as though they're in 1s and 2s. There's no support from the forwards, and we just look as though we're lacking a leader. I would think about this change now. I would definitely move Elliot Alney, who was in the middle of your picture, to number 4, and move Sean Edwards to number 6. We're getting nothing from the middle of the park.
And of course, Alec, we've also got Chris Arkwright on substitute, who can also come in at loose forward and present some problems.
Yes, I think we've got to make the changes and make them right, because we're definitely not firing on all cylinders, and I think it wants one flash of genius to get us back in this game.
Well, let's hope it comes. But I think the problem is that we're not running from depth, we're standing stood still. Crooks being taken back, and that's obvious. If you take the ball standing still, then you go back. But Gratian now, this looks better. Pinner on the attack to Fieldhouse. Oh, that's a good crunching tackle. Tremendous tackle there from Mark Graham. Sean Edwards. And he's lost it. But a penalty. He doesn't look very happy, does Kevin Tamati. Yes, he gave him a punch, he stole the ball. I think Kevin knows what he did. Very phlegmatic character, but a fiery one when he gets his temper up.
Yeah, just Kevin Tamati, number 8. By looking at his face here after this, you'd think he was an altar boy. He's done nothing.
And certainly Great Britain now need every yard of ground. The crowd trying to get behind them, trying to rouse them. As Alex said, one flash of genius is needed, a burst from Ellery Hanley, a run from Des Drummond to Crooks. And there's another off-the-ball incident. Jeff Grayson is down on the floor. Touch just coming on. Referee Dummerson indicating that a shoulder tackle caused it. And he's having a word with Mark Graham. Graham protesting his innocence.
Well, Mark Graham here, the number 11 coming across in your picture, says it was the shoulder. We'll soon find out. I think it might have been a little bit high and a little bit dangerous.
Graham looks to be wanting, I think, some attention, but Jeff Grayson, well, he's got rid of his attention and he looks all right. And the second opportunity for Great Britain to put some points. And Lee Crooks, the substitute, taking the kick. Crooks, of course, a very consistent goal kicker for his whole club on Humberside, and has kicked before in Great Britain Test matches, so very used to this situation, and I'm sure these 2 points will be very, very welcome to the Great Britain side. 35 yards up. It's a high one. The crowd are rising to it, and it's there. So Britain at long last get 2 points on the board, and who knows, that might fire them. A little bit of delight for the crowd, something to cheer them, and it's substitute Lee Crooks who puts them in good heart. And huge roars going around this ground now. Here we go, being chanted from the top end. And Crooks, well, he's having a go. Had a fine game, this lad, since he came on, Alex.
Yes, he looks the part. He looks as though he wants to prove a point, like you say, Ray, but if this goal kick, the last goal kick, doesn't put a little bit of spirit back in the Great Britain side, well, we are struggling.
But I really do think Great Britain are playing this ball far too narrow, far too short around to play the ball. Just look there are 4 forwards in our picture. To Hanley, to Burke. Oh, beautiful ball to Schofield. Can Drummond get it? Yes, he does. He's lost it. But that's more like it. Great Britain are using the full width of this pitch. As I said, 78 yards. The wingman has an extra 2 or 3 yards on the outside if they can get them going. This, I think, is where this game will be won and lost. And Maurice Bamford looks, well, he still looks in control. New Zealand ball. And suddenly Great Britain look to have come to life.
Yes, they look as though they've got their enthusiasm back, and they've got to get it pretty quick, because the longer New Zealand are in front, the more confident they'll get. But just thinking of this game, Ray, number 8, Tamati, he's hit everybody on the field, and how he's, you know, managing to stay on there and looking as innocent as what he does, I'll never know.
I think one of the major factors too for the Kiwis is that at long last in this series they're winning the scrums. They're 5-3 at the moment, and they've taken away that dominance that Great Britain had. Sixth tackle coming up now. Arcoy. That's a long one, Burke. They're trying to weigh up that bounce. No, lets it go. To Potter. And know many old-timers, I was chatting to one or two ex-Great Britain forwards in midweek who said that this game lacked a little bit of the bruising of the old-fashioned test, but this is certainly one. We might not be seeing the free-flowing play, but we're certainly seeing some hard tackling. To Hanley. Hanley to Burke. And I wouldn't be surprised if all the points came in the last 15 minutes. I don't think both these sides can keep up this tackling. Des Drummond, only a small character, but packed with energy, this ex-BBC Superstars champion. Oh, good break there from Pinner. He's got Hanley looking for him. Here's a chance for goal. Good tackle. Well, a silly play, a silly ball to throw away. To Fred Arcoy, he's lost it. Gary Campbell looks annoyed with himself, but I'm sure the man to be annoyed with himself should be Ellery Hanley. He made the break downfield and threw the ball away anywhere. It was a bit like a sort of a seven-a-side match.
Well, when we get this break here by Ellery Hanley, this is it. A lovely ball by Pinner. I thought he might have chipped over here, but just what Hanley does. He never thinks, he never looks, and he just flings it anywhere.
But it's still Great Britain ball then. Hanley again in possession. Burke coming in the line more and more now, but not escaping the clutches. Edwards. He looks more of a standoff, this lad Shaun Edwards. That little scutter of the legs, that look for the gap. Fox to Gratian. Oh, good slip ball to Potter. Just couldn't get the ball away to Schofield. But this is looking better now. There's more variety in this Great Britain side. Hanley. To Fox. Well backed up from Fox. To Crooks. To Schofield. Oh, yes, he's got on the outside. He's going for the line. Oh, magnificent tackle. Copybook full-back. Copybook full-back play from Gary Campbell. Magnificent tackle from Campbell, but a good run from Joe Lydon. Certainly brought Great Britain now back on the attack. And that's a vital scrum to the New Zealand side. Kevin Tamati warning somebody, and things are certainly hotting up in there. This test series has suddenly been livened up by this lad. And Harry Pinner now, I think, looking to put a move on. Again, kicking the ball backwards, the ball just has to go through the point where the offence was committed, and he's looking to get himself more space. To Fieldhouse. Crowd getting behind Great Britain now. To Gratian. Oh, good ball to Crooks. 2 yards now from the New Zealand lad. Best spell from Great Britain in this match. On a penalty. Yes, keeping him down. And I think I would go for goal, and Crooks is doing so. He must go for goal. Can't afford to throw 2 points away. There's still plenty of time left in this match. There's 15 minutes gone when you're trailing by 6 points to 2. An extra 2 will be vital. And I think, Alec, one of Great Britain's best spells.
Yes, and we're putting a little bit pressure on, but I do think, Ray, that we should have scored a try then, because we had a 2-to-1 overlap, and I think all of it was required just to draw the man and put the ball over the line. But some tremendous cover from New Zealand. They're tackling as well now as when they started.
But a lot depends on this kick. It's an awkward one, well to the left of the post, but only about 20 yards out. He slides it round, no trouble. Good kick from Crooks. He's looking confident with these kicks. So Great Britain then edge back into this game, 6 points to 4. And how well matched these two sides are. I think it's a credit to both the coaches, Maurice Bamford of the Great Britain side and Graham Law. They've provided us with a magnificent series. To Desmond. Yet to score in this test series, but always likely to. Fieldhouse. And the Great Britain forwards running from a little bit more depth now. Notice how Fox is bringing Gratian onto the ball after 2 or 3 strides. Still going to Hanley. This is where he's dangerous. Schofield couldn't get the ball away. Interesting to see Mark Graham playing out very, very wide, almost in the centres. I think New Zealand know, Alec, that it's now or never in this Test match.
Yes, I think they're going to. There's definitely now or never, but there's a lot of niggling going on in this game, and I think it's uncalled for. And if you find out here that Mark Graham, he doesn't target Des Drummond one off the ball again, and he'll be lucky to stay on the park.
Well, Des Drummond certainly looks to be in considerable pain. It's Mark Graham again. He's warning him. Interesting to see that this referee, Granny Gummissel, has used the sin bin for offences like that, but he's not doing it on this occasion. In actual fact, under international laws, the sin bin should only be used for technical offences. But Britain then, back in possession now. And Des Drummond fit him well. Hanley, Fox. Necessary dummy there from youngster Fox. The New Zealand cover with Clayton Fenn was moving up very, very quickly on the outside to Gratian. And I think 1 or 2 of these strong probing runs from Gratian are beginning to take a little steam out of the Kiwis. Watkinson to Fox again. Potter. This Test match still delicately poised. Oh, that's a good kick. Very, very good kick. Darryl Williams couldn't just keep it in. Puts the pressure back on the Kiwi line. And it's a Great Britain scrum, of course. It's Great Britain to feed their head and ball. The ball knocked in touch by Williams. Here's a chance. Jeff Gratian looks to have a cut eye. Oh, good heel to Hanley. Schofield couldn't get the ball away, and they've lost 35 yards by that. Hanley again, going down the middle now. Two tackles wasted there, though, to Fox. Just couldn't get through. But the pressure now on the Kiwi line to Fieldhouse. Fieldhouse to Schofield. Nice little chip. It's anybody's ball. Well covered by Kemble and taken into touch. Sensible thing to do. Very calm, very casual, this man. Long-serving fullback figure for Kiwis, and with 20 minutes to go in this Test match, you're only 2 points in the lead. You've got to keep your head.
We've got to make more use of these scrums as well, Ray, because we're certainly going to get the ball from this position, and I'm very surprised that we don't put any moves on.
Well, I think one of the differences in the play, Alec, is that Great Britain have evened the scrums up now at 5 apiece.
Yes, and that may be because Lee Crooks has come on, and he's a natural pusher in the scrums, and you know, he's one of these forwards who puts that little bit extra weight in. But it's interesting to see, Ray, that the New Zealand forwards are struggling a little bit, and if we can just get that one break, I think we can win this match.
Kiwis then with the ball. Kevin Tamati driving in again. No nonsense player, this Kevin Tamati. Loves the rough and tumble of a Test match. Gary Pro. Been a little quieter this half, had a very good first half in defence and on attack. He had 1 or 2 of those half breaks, but not seen a lot of him this half. To Graham. And I think one of the questions will be that can this Mark Graham last out the 80 minutes? He's only played 3 out of the 10 matches on tour, and there could be a fitness doubt. Oh, it's bitten ball. Hanley to Fox. Gratian. Burke. Good ball to Crooks. Oh, Schofield. Schofield went through the gap. His hands were down, never looked to take the pass. Clayton Friend, and he's dropped it. And I think the reason with Clayton Friend, he took his eye off the ball. There was a little bit of arguing. They're still arguing there, Lee Crooks and Mark Graham. And I think both sides realise this is the crucial stage of this test match. Tempers are flying a little bit, frustration setting in. And we'll see a test of captaincy here. Who can keep the cool? To Burke. Hanley to Fox. Six points to 4 to Great Britain, to Hanley. But this tackling as strong as ever. Fred Arcoy, Gary Schofield looking across. Tempers getting frayed there, very, very silly situation off the ball. And a policeman on there. How he got on there, I don't know. But tempers were frayed in that scrummage. Suddenly erupted. And I think it was bound to happen. Neither captain seemed to be having the control of his side. And it looks to be Jeff Gratian. He had an eye cut earlier on. And I think we might see Chris Arkwright, number 14, coming on for Jeff Gratian. Chris Arkwright, of course, can play in the forwards, can play in the backs. Very famous family, the Arkwrights. His grandfather, Jack, played in the 1920s and the 30s. Very famous forward. And Chris maintaining the family name. But poor Jeff. Well, it isn't Jeff Gratian. It looks to be Watkinson, the hooker. And he's sending Sorensen off for 10 minutes this time. Well, I find that very, very strange, because here's a man who's already been sent off to the sin bin for 5 minutes, and he's now going off for 10 minutes. And I would have thought on it that was a sending off offence.
Well, I think this is absolutely ludicrous what's going on here, because if Kirk Sorensen's going to go anywhere, he's got to go for a bath, because he's already had 5 minutes in the sin bin. But I think we'll find out then that was totally uncalled for. Tempers are running a little bit frayed, and there was a few blows struck there from people who should know better. But it is a test match, and it's a very important one.
Maurice Bamford looking to try to calm his team down. And the referee, Gummersall, having a word with him. And I think he's laying the law down to both sides. I want rugby, no messing about. But the match is at boiling point, boiled over, and he certainly doesn't want any more. Have you got the message, he says, lads? And a scrum down. David Watkinson being led off the field, a very nasty gash. He doesn't want to come off, but I'm sure David will be well advised to. And Great Britain just with 5 forwards. Jeff Gratian seems to have gone off as well. To Hanley. So both that front row then, Gratian and Watkinson, off with very bad gashes. So Great Britain now down to 12 men, of course, through injury. And the Kiwis down to 12 men through a sin bin for Kurt Sorensen. And I think 12 men on this very wide pitch could very soon open up a try. To Potter. Oh, pushes one man out of the way nicely. I think it's the team that keeps its cool head now, Alec.
Yes, and I think also, Ray, that Mr. Gummersall is going to need all his nerve here, because it's going to be a very, very ferocious last 10 minutes, and the side that keeps its cool is going to win the match.
To Fox. Oh, not a good kick. Aimless. So New Zealand then, a respite for New Zealand. And Wayne Wallace to tap the ball to Tamata. Well, this man, Kevin Tamati, he'll keep coming all day. He'll keep running. He'll take the punishment, and he'll give the punishment. And Sorensen. I think both of these sides will welcome the hot bath afterwards. Mark Graham. Just 13 minutes left in this Whitbread Trophy series. One match each. 2 points separating the two teams. New Zealand 6, Great Britain 4. To Arcoy. Well, that's play on. It should be 6 tackles. The Great Britain players stood around a little there, but it was the 6th tackle, but a turnover. To Fox. To Chris Arkwright. Very strong lad, this Arkwright, if he can get the half break. Fox. But Great Britain, I think, wasting 2 or 3 tackles here. I think should get this ball out wide. Only 12 men to Hanlon. Pinner, skipper now, looking to get his backs weaving. Out to Burke. To Schofield. I think Mick Burke being tackled there, his legs actually brought his own teammate down. Doesn't Kevin Tamati look annoyed? Arkwright. There's a lot of chatting going on there, Alec.
Yes, and you find out that Kevin's in all of it. He's had a tremendous game. He's really got involved with the game, and he knows it's a test match. He knows it's going to be tough, and he's just enjoying it.
Yes, and that's 6 tackles. Play on. Back to Dane Sorensen. And I think 1 or 2 of these forwards have been reduced to walking pace now. Such has been the ferocity of the defences. But either side will want to keep its discipline. Penalty goal, 2 points could be a crucial factor. Arcoy. Oh, good ball to Williams. Came short. But a good tackle by Burke and Edwards. This is dangerous now for Great Britain. Kiwis on the 25. To Graham. To Pro. O'Hara got 1 to beat. And it's still New Zealand ball. 6 more tackles. And a penalty, kicking out at the play of the ball by Des Drummond. Now what will New Zealand do? I think I would go for goal, Alec.
Yes, and I think it's a very important penalty because 4 points, Ray, is at this time, it means that Great Britain have got to score a try and kick the goal. But I'm very surprised at Des Drummond giving away a penalty like that, especially at this stage of the game. The referee has penalised him for just kicking at the play of the ball. He's normally not a player like that, but it just shows you what tension is.
Well, we just said about the question of discipline, and we said that either captain would want any indiscipline, and Des Drummond there, an aimless kick, a wild kick, and it could cost him 2 points. 10 minutes left. New Zealand then leading by 2 points, 6 points to 4. But this man, Dane Sorensen, he's not a regular goal kicker. And he's missed it. It seems strange to me, the Kiwis going into a match without a recognised goal kicker, but they have done. Great Britain then now trailing 6 points to 4 in the final 10 minutes of this match. And Mark Graham, many thought that it might be fitness problems with Graham in the last 20, but he's still going into the tackle. Arkwright. To Fox. Oh, that's a good ball. Pinner to Edwards. Lydon. Well, that's a little wild. Oh, well picked up by Crooks. But Britain throwing, I think, caution to the wind. Kendall. Looking to go himself. I think Gary Kendall says, what we have we hold. We've got those extra 2 points. It's Great Britain who have got to throw the ball about. New Zealand can be steady and sure, just move into Great Britain's half. Sorensen, Williams. This Darren Williams comes into midfield a lot. Eight minutes to go. New Zealand still clinging to this 2 points, playing very steady, very safety-first rugby. Oh, good pass, but no, not quite. Out to Potter. Now, here's a chance to Hanley. 3-2 on the left. Edwards. But a good tackle. Drunching tackle from Darren Williams. I think they're showing the value of his expertise as a full-back in Auckland. Burke again. Fox. Arkwright. But again, Chris Arkwright took the ball standing still, wasn't running onto it. Pinner again, to Hanley. Oh, that was a dangerous ball to Schofield. Drummond just can't get away. What a dangerous little customer this Des Drummond from Lee is. Hanley again. But a knock-on. I don't think Mark Graham would be too bothered about that. I think that knock-on saved a very, very dangerous situation. And Kevin Tamati being brought off. Hugh McGann, number 15, coming on for Kevin Tamati. I think he's done his job. And Olsen Filipina coming on for Fred Harcourt. Very experienced man, this McGann. I think he's looking now, Graham Lowe, to bring on some freshmen. Clayton Friend. Great Britain, of course, no one now to bring on. Watkinson and Gratian off the field, both with cut eyes. Philippine. And a huge roar from the crowd as Great Britain get a penalty. Joe Lydon to put to touch. 6 minutes left. Kiwis grimly clinging to this 2-point lead. The whole destination of this Whitbread Trophy series depends on this next few minutes. To Gratian. Gratian, lovely pass. And what credit to Jeff Gratian, just came back on the field despite that cut eyebrow. Pinner. Hanley to Fox, to Gratian. This Kiwi side tackling like Superman. Otto. Crooks. Oh, good ball to Berg. Mick Berg linking up. Ellery Hanley. Arkwright. This looks better now. Pinner. Oh, good knock-on. Desperate knock-on by John Fieldhouse. And really, it was very difficult to have a forward in that position, out wide out there. The Fieldhouse looked annoyed with himself when the ball really should have just been transferred to the centre. Just a brief stoppage. Well, referee Gummersall, he looks the calmest man on the field, laughing to himself, enjoying it. And Dean Bell's back up. To Sorensen. 4 minutes left, and I'm sure that New Zealand will just play this ball through the forwards. They have the vital 2 points. Olsen Filipina. Back to Clayton Friend. Only one try in this match, and that was that try by the New Zealand skipper Mark Graham in the 33rd minute. But it could provide us with the destination for that Whitbread Trophy. McGann, long kick now. Not a good one, well taken by Lydon. Oh, but a good tackle. Dean Bell very well up the full-back, 20 yards, I think, to Edwards. Three minutes to go. Chris Arkwright. And this is good tactics here from New Zealand, kicking deep, keeping the Great Britain side in your own 25-yard. At this stage in a test match, it wants some doing to go the full length of the field. Oh, good ball to Crooks. Well, I wouldn't say that was a bad pass. I would say that was a well-intentioned pass. And I think, yes, I think Gary Schofield's saying, well, it was my wingman. Des Drummond, I don't think, was alert to that pass. He was stood 3 or 4 yards back, and he should have been there. Definitely a chance for me. Well, I don't think I need to say how he fed that ball. Two minutes left. 2 points difference. And this was surely the Great Britain's last chance. Huge roar getting behind them, crowd roaring them on. And they've really got to move this ball about. Chris Arkwright. Well, I don't think this will get us anywhere. To Gratian. Good ball to Schofield. No, 3 tackles gone, 3 tackles to come. Still 30 yards from that Kiwi line. Out to Fox. To Pinner. That's a good ball. To Hanley. Edwards. But every one of those tackles was taken by the man standing still. There was nobody actually running onto the ball. Potter. And the 6th tackle coming up. And we haven't gained 1 yard actually in those 5 tackles. Pinner. It's a high one, but nobody following it. Nobody following it. All the world, all the time for Gary Kemble to pick the ball up. And 1 minute from time, we should have had some runners underneath that. But still, this test match poised on a knife edge. Seconds ticking away now into the last minute of normal time. New Zealand working this through the forwards. I think 1 or 2 of these forwards will almost willingly take the tackle, just running up, content to go down. Every time a tackle is made, seconds are gone. A long kick. And there's the difference. Notice the Kiwi players. 1 man, 2 man, 3 man, straight onto the man when Great Britain has the ball. And we leisurely strolled up. Can Great Britain still pull the game out of the fire? 6 points to 4. 40 minutes are gone. We're into injury time. There should be a little injury time. We've had a couple of stoppages. All to Edwards. Just can't get away. Into injury time now. Great Britain desperate to move this ball out. There are gaps on the outside, but Fieldhouse is going back in. Potter. Keeping it going. Fox. New Zealand hanging on like grim death here. To Arkwright. Hanley. Oh, good ball to Burke. He's got Des Drummond on his outside. Just can't get away. Excellent tackle. Still going. Hanley, strength, speed, but a penalty. Now then, could this be a dramatic last-second draw? A punch. What will Great Britain do? Will they go for goal and hope to tie the series? Or will they go for everything, put the ball in the corner and go for the try? And he's going for goal. What more dramatic situation could we have? And I think this highlights one of the captain's problems. I know when I played rugby league, the referee was the sole arbiter of time, and very often you could ask the referee, well, sir, look, sir, how long is there to go? And he would very often give you a little nod on the side and say, look, Ray, there's a minute or there's 30 seconds, and you knew what to do. But this is dramatic. It's way out on the touchline. It's 27 yards out, and what a pressure kick. Lee Crooks, the substitute to take it. 6 points to 4 to New Zealand. Everything hinges on this kick. He lost it. Oh, it's a magnificent kick! A magnificent kick! A smile on Harry Pinner's face. 6 points each. And what a way to come back in a test match. Into injury time. 6 points to Great Britain, 6 points to New Zealand. And the crowd are on their feet. Now, will Great Britain hold on to this ball? Will they settle for a draw? I think they will. People looking across to the timekeeper. Great Britain crowd now urging him on. Chris Arkwright. To John Fieldhouse. Driving in, not a very good series, this number 10. Victory snatched from the Kiwis. A tremendous roar here at Allen Road. 1 minute injury time, and I don't think I've ever heard a crowd get behind a Great Britain side like this. And just look at that man, Jack Grayson, 36 years of age. He's been off for treatment, and here he is back on the field. Mick Burke kicking deep, puts it right down to the corner. O'Hara then. Oh, beats one man. But a good tackle by Fox. Sorensen to Bell. Hanley. Now it's New Zealand's turn. 4 tackles to go. 70 yards of the field to go. Clayton Friend. Looking to McGann. Oh, brilliant ball to Graham. Gary Crome. There's the hooter. It's a draw. 6 points each. And I think that sums up the spirit of this match. Gary Crome and Gary Schofield acknowledging each other. And there's the hero of the hour for Great Britain, Lee Crooks. And Hull FC, that's the club he comes from. 3 goals from Lee Crooks to that lone try from Mark Graham and a goal by Dane Sorensen. But what a match we've had. Tremendous series. New Zealand won the first one 24-22. Great Britain the second 25-8. And now 6 points each. And of course